Hi everybody! Today I'm going to do my TBR, and with that I mean the books, my to be read pile sort of, that I want to read during May, because it is a new month now after all, and as usual this reading pile is a lot bigger than what I will actually have the time to read, but I mean you're supposed to have something motivating, I guess, when you read. So the first one is actually in Swedish, but it is Den tunna hinnan by Astrid Ahlberg, and I've had this one for quite a long time and I have read like 10 pages in it, so I just really need to get on this. But yeah, this is a book I got straight from the author and I've had it for a really long time, so I need to get to it. A book that I've got from the publisher, which is Bokfabriken, and it is Något du inte vet att jag vet by Birgitta Bergin, eller Bergin, I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyways, and I think this looks really pretty actually, and I do think it will be a quick read, and I've heard really good things about it, so I do hope I will like it. Then we have Sanning och skvaller by Curtis Sittenfeld, and the original title for this book in English is Eligible, and it's sort of a retelling of Pride and Prejudice, but in like a modern day sort of way. And this book I got from the publisher. And then we have another one in Swedish, and this is 18 grader minus by Stefan Arnhem. And then we have, there's a lot of like books that are only in Swedish, but my review books, I know that, and I'm sorry for it, but I do have some Swedish viewers, so bear with me please. I'll get to the English ones in a little bit. And this is Öga för öga, tand för tand by Mats Ahlstedt. Got this one from the publisher, and I mean it does sound very good, and I just wanna, it's sort of a psychological thriller, it says on the back here. Opium by Staffan Nordstrand, and I also got this one from the publisher. And actually this one and Mats Ahlstedt's book I haven't really had for not that long, just like a month. I suck. But those were all the review books I'm going to try to read this month. And now we go on to the books in English that I want to read this month. And yeah, this is Nevernight by J. Kristoff, which is book 1 in the Nevernight series. I'm really crappy to remember what series are called, but we're just gonna call it that. And this is about Mia, and her entire family were killed because her father's failed rebellion, and this girl, she lives at the Red Church where she learns to be an assassin, and she wants to take revenge because her family was killed. And there's a problem there because there's some lunatic that runs around killing people, and apparently is out after Mia, and she's not sure she will be alive long enough to actually take out her revenge. And then we have a book that's been on like every single TBR I've ever done. But that is The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodgkin. And this is about Mara Dyer, and she and her friends were in a accident and all of her friends died, and Mara Dyer is trying to figure out like what is happening, because she's not sure if she's hallucinating or if what she sees is actually happening. And yeah, it's about her trying to figure that out. And I do have the entire trilogy, and I need to read this book, and I really do. It's just, I have so many books I want to read, and for some reason this always gets put on the back burner, and no more. I will read this month. I have to. Falling Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes, and I really don't know a lot about this series. It's just that it's supposed to be really good, and there's like magic in it, and like, yeah, some sort of power struggle that escalates to a war, and there are 4 young people that collide against one another and rise of Elementia, the magic that can topple kingdoms and crown a ruler in the same day. And in this book we meet privileged Princess Cleo, the king's son Magnus and rebellious Jonas. A children's classic, and it is Anne of Green Gables by Ella Montgomery, and this is in the Puff and Bloom edition, if somebody wonders. And I read this like when I think I was like 13, 14 years old, and I do want to reread it. And I mean, it's just about a girl that is sent out to live like in the countryside with some people I don't remember names of, and you get to like follow and when she goes to school and everything, and she has this habit of renaming every single thing she sees, and that really annoyed me when I was 13 years old, but I do remember some bits I really did like, so I'm interested to see what I think about it now when well, I haven't turned 22 yet, but I'm getting there. And then we come to another middle grade book, and that is The Wishing Spell by Chris Colfer, and yes, that is the guy in Glee. And this is in a series that is called The Land of Stories, and it's about a twins, and they're called Alex and Connor Bailey. They get like this storybook right from their grandmother, and it actually, they like get into the land of stories somehow, and they found out that the fairy tales are real. And I don't really know which fairy tales they like come upon in this book, but if I do look on the cover, it sort of looks like it's Sleeping Beauty and Snow White. So yeah, I'm guessing that's who they will meet. This entire series have like ridiculously good ratings on Goodreads, so yeah, and I really do love middle grade, and I'm sort of in a middle grade sort of frenzy right now. I just want to read middle grade all day long. Another middle grade book, and that is The Mark of Athena by Rick Riordan, and I have read like 114 pages, so I'm just gonna keep on reading this. And I mean, this is the book, well, Percy Jackson is in this book with a couple of other Camp Half-Blood's friends, but there's also kids from the Roman like camp, and they have to work together to save the day pretty much. And then we come to the last middle grade book I want to read this month. I just noticed that a lot of the books I want to read is like really big, and yeah, that's terrifying. But anyways, and the book I want to read is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling, and that is because in April I finished reading Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and yes, I have read this series like, I don't know, I stopped counting it like 20 times, so I don't know where the hell I am now, like 25 maybe, but I really love this series. This is the series that really got me into reading when I was 9 years old, and I mean, nothing can beat Harry Potter. I mean, this is my favorite series of all time. That's why I keep rereading it. Anyways, I really want to read this because it's been a long time since I read the fourth book, and I have to read this. And then we have The Takedown, and this is written by Corey Wang, and in this book we meet, what's her name, Kyla Chung, and she's really good in school, she has really good grades, and she is on her way to become valedictorian, and there's just like a week left before she's supposed to send in her applications for college. But when there is a week left, there is a video published online. There's a video of Kyla and her English professor doing it, and this is not a real video because Kyla has never done that, so it is sort of a Photoshop movie, and she tries to figure out who the hell made this video in the purpose of like destroying her life, and she needs to find it out like before the college does. Then we have the book that I got from my fairy loot in April, and this is Given to the Sea by Mindy McGuinness, and I have heard some mixed things about this, but I don't know, I look forward to reading it, and also I think it will be a quick read because it's not that big. And this is about Kosa, and she was born just for the purpose of being fed to the sea, and that is to prevent the kind of wave that destroyed the kingdom of Still. And she can't be sacrificed until she produces an heir, but human touch repulses her, except the touch of the Indiri. And yeah, it sounds like an interesting concept. Nothing I have read like before. And this is The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson, and this is book 1 in the Remnant Chronicles. And this I have had for a really long time too, and I'm going to read it. I swear, I will read it. Question is if it is this month or like the next century. I don't know. Anyways, this is about Leah, and she is 17 years old, and she's supposed to get married to like create an alliance with a different kingdom, but she doesn't want to do that because she's 17, and who wants to get married at 17? And she runs off, and then her father sends the prince that she was supposed to marry after her, but also an assassin, and you don't know who is who of these boys. And that's sort of the concept of this book, trying to figure out who's who. And it does sound really good, and I've heard really good things about it. Mark Engel by Laini Taylor, and this is Daughter of Smoke and Bone, the first book in the series with the same name. And I really do love these covers. Anyways, I did read Strange to Dream by Laini Taylor not that long ago, and I really liked her writing style. And I mean, you do meet Caro, and she like draws a lot of pictures of monsters, and they may be real, they may not, and she is often running around like mysterious, she'll always like run away with mysterious things to do, and she speaks a lot of different languages, and not all of them are human, and she has like blay and she has naturally blue hair. I mean, that's just really cool. And anyways, she doesn't really know who she is, and that is sort of a question that gets to her head, and it really like makes her feel bad and stuff, and she really just wants to find out who she is, where she comes from. And then you also meet the beautiful Akiva, who is running from someone is like stalking her, and yeah, and she's soon caught up in a battle between angels and demons. It's These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, and I've read like 6 pages. I have been wanting to read it for a really long time. This is a sci-fi, if you didn't understand what the cover stood for. And in this one you meet Lilac and Tava, and they're on this spaceship called Icarus, and this ship like it crashes on a planet that's just made out of like deserts, and it seems like they are the only 2 that survives, and so they have to like work together to survive. And Lilac is the daughter of the richest man in the universe, while Tava comes from nothing, and he is a young war hero. And these are sort of the polar opposites then, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this. Now it's time for me to pull out a book from my TBR jar, which looks really pretty. God, we screwed that on. And we're just gonna shake, snarl around, shake around. Okay, I'm ready to pick a book. Oopsie. Another book was eager to be picked. Ooh. Okay, this time I will read Cujo by Stephen King, and this is, well, it's really old, so I think most of you have heard about it. This is about Cujo, who is a dog, obviously, and he weighs almost 100 kilos, and his best friend is Brett Camber, who is 10 years old. One day, Cujo follows a rabbit down into a hole because he's like chasing him, and in this little hole in the ground there are a lot of rabies contaminated, or what you want to call it, bats. And well, after that, Cujo and the ones that get close to him sort of goes awry, I guess. And I've been wanting to read this for a really long time, but it has been on my TBR for like 2 years maybe. That was all of the books I know I'm not going to read all of these, but can't help but want to try. Anyways, that was all I had for this time. Please let me know what you're planning to read this month. I would like to know that, and I do hope that if you like the videos I put up on my channel, that you will want to subscribe to me, and you will be able to get a notification when I upload new videos, but also to, you know, show me support. And I do hope that we see each other next time. Bye!